I'm very happy to be joined here today with Janice Procession with the Lloydminster Christmas Angels. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, the Lloydminster Christmas Angels has been around for 12 years now. Tell me about the Christmas Angels for people who may not know. I know we talked about this last year as well, but it's a good reminder for people to know what the Lloydminster Christmas Angels truly is.
Okay. So 12 years ago, I've wanted to longer than that, do something for a family at Christmas that, was struggling, could use some Christmas cheer. But I didn't know how to go about picking a family. So I decided that I couldn't do it financially by myself. So I went on Facebook. I think it was on one of the local groups and put it out there, is anybody interested? And I had all these messages, and honestly, it had me in tears. So the first year we went through, I didn't do it on my own. I had, I think the interval home find a family for me. So we collected everything and they delivered it. So we never got to meet the family, talk to them or anything. And the next year I thought I'm going to find a family on my own. So we pretty well have just had people nominate families that are going through a health crisis. Unfortunately, we can't do financial. There's too many people, unfortunately, suffering financial difficulties, and I would love to help them all, but we can't. So I decided to go with somebody going through, a significant loss, losing a loved one tragically, suddenly, going through a health issue. And that's how it started, was people would nominate a family. And then I would pick the family or two, and we would do stockings for them, presents, food for Christmas breakfast, Christmas supper, did I say presents? I forget. And that's kind of how it began. But then I didn't want to be the one deciding on the family. So I started going into voting. So whoever was in our group would vote on the family or two. It's normally two. I think one year we did one, who they wanted to provide for. So right now, this year, I only have 5 families nominated. And right now it's getting voted on, and we haven't decided. Probably this weekend we'll be deciding on the family. And then sometimes people join the group out of curiosity and they, might not want to take part. So then I don't have the help that I might need to do 2 families. So depending how that goes, we will pick another family next week if the help is there.
That sounds incredible. And Lloydminster has such a great way of coming together and helping those in
Honestly, yes.
need, which is fantastic. And the fact that this has been going on for over a decade now, it's incredible, and it keeps on continuing. So for
Yes.
this year, if people do want to help out and to, drop off gifts or, not necessarily be a part of the group, but still want to drop off gifts, how can they do so, or what do they need to do in order to take part in the Christmas Angels?
Okay, so we're only on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram or anything else. Facebook's good enough. So it's Lloydminster Christmas Angels 2023. It's a private group, so they have to just ask to join, and I will let them in. And then they can read, the info, whether they want to provide once the family is voted for, I give the information, the age and first name, last names are never used, of the child, the adult, and some of their likes and dislikes. Now, once a family is voted for, whoever nominated them needs to find out, first of all, if the family is open to receiving these gifts. I've had one turn it down. They just felt somebody else could use it more than them. So then we get some information on what they like, any hobbies, sizes, etc. And then people can decide, I want to do the stocking for little Johnny, whatever, and they'll purchase all the stocking stuffers. Or I want to buy a gift for mom or anything. So then that's when then it gets busy. I start kind of the organizing of what we have and then the food. I have one lady that quite often will bring the turkey and we do a ham, just all the fixings, take the groceries to them, and delivery is always quite an emotional night. Um, yeah, actually, not only delivery for the family, but when people bring their gifts here or anything to drop off with me, I usually have goosebumps. I sometimes have tears. I've met so many people over the years. They've joined and they've been continuing to so we have our little annual visit and it's just wonderful. Honestly, this city is just wonderful.
No, that sounds incredible. And it goes something small like this can really make a huge difference for someone,
Mm-hmm.
for an entire family, like you said, who's going through, whether it's a medical crisis, whether someone in their family is going through something medical, or they just lost somebody too.
Yeah,
Christmas is a very hard time
it
to
is.
be going through something like that because, there's always this Christmas is about coming together as a family and stuff. So
Yeah.
having that kind of familial loss or crisis going on, it can be really hard to find Christmas joy and cheer,
Yes.
as they say. So I think this isn't fantastic. And you're helping, may not be able to help a ton of families, but you're helping at least one or two. And that
Mm-hmm.
a world of difference to them and
Mm-hmm.
pay it forward as well.
Yes.
So is there anything else that you would like to add that I may have missed?
I don't think so. There's time to join, even though the families have been nominated. There's still time to jump on board and vote for a family or invite your friends to the group. It feels so good to give. I've got a couple tags here from the co-op Christmas tree that the seniors tree that I've picked. And honestly, I look forward to that every year. It feels good to give. That's what Christmas is about, is giving. I have goosebumps right now. um, it just feels good to give. And there's people going through such tough things, and I just want them to know that the community cares about them. Oh my gosh, tears coming. And yeah, just
Well,
to bring a bit of joy to them.
yes, absolutely. Well, that's amazing. And what you've been doing for over a decade, for 12 years now, has definitely made a difference. And it just adds to the community as a
Yeah,
whole. And it just brings that kind of joy and cheer to those who, hard to find sometimes
yeah,
when you're going
yeah.
through something. So that's fantastic. And I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me about this. I think this is so wonderful what you've been doing. So thank you so much for joining me again.
Thank you so much, Abby.